This is the story of the American truck driver, a profession that once offered a ticket to the middle class, but now comes with a life expectancy that some studies claim is 16 years shorter than the average citizen. In 1980, a driver could earn the equivalent of $100,000 a year, own a home, and retire comfortably. Today, that same job often pays half as much for twice the work, trapping millions in a cycle of debt, isolation, and deteriorating health. We are witnessing the slow-motion collapse of the industry that keeps the economy alive. Stop and look around the room you are sitting in. Every single item, from your phone and your chair to the clothes on your back, spent time on a truck. 70% of all freight in America moves by highway, yet the people behind the wheel have become ghosts to the average consumer. We see the 18-wheeler, but we rarely see the human inside. When the supply chain snaps, as it did during the disruptions of recent years, panic sets in immediately. Grocery shelves go empty in 3 days, fuel pumps run dry in 2, hospitals run out of basic supplies in 24 hours. The system is extremely fragile, and it rests entirely on the shoulders of men and women who feel increasingly abandoned by the society they sustain. There was a time when trucking was the closest thing to a modern cowboy lifestyle. In the 1970s, drivers were called Knights of the Road. They were the guardians of the highway, known for stopping to help stranded motorists and flashing their lights to signal safe passing. More importantly, the money was genuinely excellent. Powerful unions like the Teamsters ensured that drivers were paid for every mile and every minute. A union job in 1978 could pay the inflation-adjusted equivalent of $110,000. It was a career that demanded respect, and it received it. Drivers had autonomy, owned their schedules, and acted as the captains of their ships. Everything changed in 1980. President Jimmy Carter signed the Motor Carrier Act, a piece of legislation designed to cut inflation by increasing competition. It looks like a win for consumers because shipping prices dropped and goods became cheaper. For the driver, however, it was a catastrophe. The act smashed the regulatory barriers that protected wages. Thousands of new, non-union companies flooded the market, undercutting established carriers by slashing driver pay. Union power evaporated. The Knights of the Road were replaced by a race to the bottom. In real terms, driver wages have plummeted by as much as 50% since that signature landed on the page. The middle-class dream didn't just fade, it was legislated out of existence. If you believe these drivers deserve better, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are documenting the hidden stories of the global economy every single week, and we want you with us. We need to examine the paycheck. By 2026, the math simply doesn't add up. Top-tier private fleets still pay decent wages, but the average long-haul driver is grinding out 70-hour weeks for a paycheck that barely covers the bills at home. Most drivers are paid by the mile, a deceptive system that means if the wheels aren't turning, they aren't earning. If you are stuck in traffic, you are working for free. Waiting at a warehouse for 6 hours to get unloaded means earning $0 an hour. When you calculate the actual hourly rate for a driver stuck at a dock or crawling through Chicago rush hour, it often drops below minimum wage. They are exempt from the Fair Labor Standards Act's overtime rules, a loophole from the 1930s that companies exploit to this day. You hear it on the news constantly that there is a driver shortage. Industry groups claim they need 80,000 more drivers right now. That is a misleading statement. There is no shortage of people with commercial licenses. There is a shortage of people willing to do the job for the current pay. Large carriers face a turnover rate that frequently tops 90%. That means to keep a fleet of 10,000 drivers, they have to hire 9,000 new people every single year. It is a bucket with a massive hole in the bottom. They churn through human beings, burning them out in months, only to replace them with fresh graduates from driving schools who are saddled with debt and desperate for work. The psychological cost is even higher than the financial one. Imagine living in a box the size of a walk-in closet for 3 weeks at a time. You eat alone, sleep alone, and your only conversation is with a dispatcher who just wants to know why you aren't moving. Isolation is the industry's silent killer. Depression rates among truckers are nearly double the national average. Divorce is rampant because being away for 300 days a year destroys relationships. In 2026, despite FaceTime and social media, the loneliness is intense. Drivers speak of a phantom life where they watch their children grow up through a screen, missing birthdays, anniversaries, and the simple quiet moments that make a life worth living. When the government mandates a 10-hour break, you would assume there is a place to take it. That assumption is incorrect. There is a national shortage of over 78,000 truck parking spaces. Every afternoon, a desperate game of musical chairs begins. Drivers are forced to park on dangerous highway on-ramps or abandoned lots because every legal spot is full by 4 p.m. They lose an average of 56 minutes of driving revenue every single day, just hunting for a patch of asphalt. Drivers often finish a 14-hour shift exhausted, only to have police knock on their window at 2 a.m. to tell them to move when they have nowhere else to go. It is a criminal lack of infrastructure for the people we rely on most. The job destroys the body as effectively as it breaks the spirit. A statistic that haunts the industry suggests the average life expectancy of a commercial driver could be as low as 61 years. Experts debate the exact number, but the causes are undeniable. The lifestyle combines a sedentary job with high stress, diesel fumes, and a diet often limited to gas station roller dogs and energy drinks. Obesity and sleep apnea are epidemic. Sleep apnea alone affects 28% of drivers, a condition that kills quality sleep and ruins hearts. You are sitting in a vibrating seat for 11 hours a day, effectively slowly destroying your spine and metabolism while cortisol floods your system from the stress of traffic. Freedom on the open road is a memory. Today, the cabin is a surveillance state. The electronic logging device, or ELD, mandates every second of the driver's day. If the truck moves 5 miles per hour, the clock starts ticking. This rigid system forces drivers to race against a computer. If a driver feels tired and needs a 20-minute nap, they cannot take it because the 14-hour duty window continues. The ELD was sold as a safety device, but for many, it became a pressure cooker. It removed the human element of judgment. A driver is now just a component in a digital system, punished for traffic jams and weather delays that are completely out of their control. The most degrading part of the job often happens when the truck stops. At shipping and receiving facilities, drivers are frequently treated like nuisances rather than partners. It is common for a driver to be banned from using the restrooms inside the warehouse they are delivering to. They are told to wait outside in the heat or cold, sometimes for 10 hours, without access to basic human sanitation. During the global health crisis, this inhumanity peaked, but it hasn't gone away. They haul the toilet paper, the soap, and the medicine, yet they are often denied the use of a toilet. It is a daily humiliation that drives thousands to quit the industry forever. For many, the escape route from low wages was buying their own truck. Becoming an owner-operator is the American dream of the industry. In 2026, however, it is often a financial death trap. A new truck costs nearly $200,000. Insurance premiums have risen sharply. Fuel prices are volatile. One major breakdown can bankrupt an independent driver overnight. Predatory lease purchase programs from big carriers lure drivers in with zero down payment, but the terms are so aggressive that the driver ends up owing money to the company after a week of work. It is sharecropping on wheels. You take all the risk, and the company takes the profit. Looming over all these struggles is the shadow of automation. In 2026, companies like Aurora and Kodiak are already running driverless trucks on highways in Texas. They aren't replacing everyone tomorrow, as urban driving is still too complex for AI, but they are claiming the easy miles. The long, straight highway runs that used to be the easiest money for a human driver are exactly what the robots do best. This creates a future where human drivers are relegated to the difficult, stressful, and lower-paying city routes. They effectively become dock pilots, while the algorithms handle the open road. The fear isn't just job loss, it's the devaluation of the skill itself. The industry is running out of time. The average commercial driver is 47 years old. The workforce is graying out, and young people are not stepping up to replace them. Gen Z looks at the lifestyle, with its weeks away from home, health risks, and lack of overtime pay, and simply declines. Less than 10% of drivers are under the age of 25. We are approaching a demographic cliff where retirements will outpace recruitment by a massive margin. The industry's solution has been to lower the driving age to 18 for interstate commerce, putting teenagers behind the wheel of 80,000-pound missiles. Safety advocates call this move a desperate gamble. If this trend continues, the result is not just higher prices, it is systemic failure. We have built an economy that demands instant gratification, including next-day delivery for everything. But we refuse to pay the true cost of that convenience. The friction is building. We are seeing more wildcat strikes, more protests, and more drivers simply parking their trucks and walking away. The supply chain is not a machine, it is a collection of people. When you push people past their breaking point, they don't just slow down, they quit. And when they quit, the grocery store goes dark. Saving this industry requires a complete overhaul of how we value labor. It means ending the unpaid detention time at docks. It means overtime pay for every hour worked. It means building safe, clean parking so a human being can sleep with dignity. There are signs of change, such as fleets guaranteeing weekly minimum pay to combat the uncertainty, but it is not enough. Until the job of a truck driver is once again treated as a skilled trade worthy of a middle-class life, the crisis will deepen. The road is long, but the time to fix this is running out. The next time you pass an 18-wheeler on the highway, remember the person inside is fighting a battle against isolation, exhaustion, and an economy that often treats them as disposable. They are the lifeblood of our nation, and they are tired. Understanding their struggle is the first step toward fixing a broken system. If you found this analysis valuable, verify your cargo is secure by hitting that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next run.